This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, rising petrol prices forces motorists to juggle their daily priorities. Save the Children NZ, grateful for donations for children in Ukraine, but saying more is needed. And a group of Star Wars fans stage weekly lightsaber battles in a Dunedin park. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. The price of petrol broke through the $3 a litre barrier this week in Queenstown, and those rises are now flowing through to the larger centres. Fuel tracking app Gaspy estimates the average nationwide price for unleaded 91 has jumped by 12% over the last months. That's meant motorists across the country are now taking serious notice of the higher cost of filling up.
Christchurch mother of two, Linda May Te Karu, faces a weekly juggling act between fuel for the car or food for her family. She's now facing that dilemma even more as petrol prices start heading over the $3 a litre barrier.
You just get in this battle, like I've just had $50 and it's like $30 goes to the fuel and $20 to try and get vegetables. So it's kind of like you have to play that kind of teetering game each week in order to be able to survive.
In Christchurch, the price of unleaded 91 ranged from $2.69 to $3.10 per litre. Te Karu says it's forced the family to only use their car for supermarket shopping and preschool drop-offs.
I don't see it changing anytime soon. I think it will rapidly increase because I think it's probably the only way that they can make money and people's hands are tied. You can't not get petrol.
The rising cost of fuel is hitting diesel owners as well. Terry and Donna Rawton are on low incomes and find it hard to budget when fuel prices keep increasing. Fuel app Gaspy estimates the price of diesel has risen by 38 cents over the last month.
Yeah, it's unreal. I've never seen it this price. Trying to run a four-wheel drive like this, it's just unreal, the prices. So I can see why people are buying push bikes or wanting to walk.
And there's concern as the conflict in Ukraine continues and a US ban on Russian oil imports comes into play. Fuel prices will only continue to increase in the short term. In Christchurch, the South Today.
An expensive flyover is being suggested as the best way to remedy a problematic intersection in North Dunedin. The intersection of State Highway 1 and Great King Street has been the site of many crashes over the years. The number of trucks have ended up careering down the hill out of control after their brakes failed at the top of Pine Hill. Dunedin City Councillors Jules Radich and Rachel Alder believe a flyover is the best solution. However, that could cost up to $25 million. Waka Kotahi, New Zealand Transport Agency, says it's more likely to install traffic lights at the bottom as part of a substantially cheaper $3 million option. Charity organisation Save the Children believes there could be 1 million child refugees among 2 million Ukrainians who fled their country following the Russian invasion. Chair of the organisation in New Zealand says there's a dire and urgent need to help those who are vulnerable and have been displaced by war.
Trying to find some normality in a war zone. Ukrainian children fleeing their homeland with caregivers due to the Russian invasion. New Zealand's Save the Children says 2 million people have fled fighting in Ukraine, 1 million children among them.
Extremely urgent. I think the UN have stated that this is probably going to be the largest humanitarian crisis we've had in our lifetime, or certainly since the Second World War.
Save the Children chairwoman Susie Staley says many of the children fleeing are showing signs of psychological distress. In New Zealand, the organisation has raised more than $300,000 so far. But she says more is needed because right now many people in Ukraine or in refugee camps don't have the basic necessities of life.
The main issue at the moment with Ukraine is access to basic facilities, but basic food, water, hygiene kits, let alone any education.
Teaching may well be a luxury, but a TikTok video of a teacher holding a class in a Ukrainian bunker has gone around the world. Save the Children NZ says finding some sense of normal can help the most vulnerable victims of the war.
Well, studies show that in times of crises, in fact, what you can give children in particular is, I suppose, something to hang on to, some kind of routine and education. Otherwise, as we are in the pandemic, we're going to have whole sort of generations of children without an education.
Save the Children International has had boots on the ground in Ukraine since 2014. Volunteers are now distributing food, water and hygiene kits as those escaping the invasion arrive at the Ukraine-Romanian border. And while the organisation is thankful for all the donations so far, Save the Children says more is definitely needed. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A survivor of the Christchurch mosque attacks who's been doing a fundraising walk from Dunedin to Christchurch has had to be taken to hospital. Tamil Atakokugu set off from Dunedin's Octagon on the 1st of March. His plan was to retrace the path of the killer in the mosque attacks to reclaim the journey in peace. But after suffering bad blisters, he was admitted to hospital yesterday at Timaru Hospital with a blood infection. Tamil will remain in hospital tonight, but is still wanting to complete the journey to Christchurch by March the 15th, the day the mosque shootings took place in 2019. The force is strong in Dunedin. Residents passing through the town belt may be surprised to see a group of adults playing with full-sized lightsabers in a local park. It's the site for Star Wars themed duels held most Sunday nights by the Dunedin chapter of the New Zealand Lightsaber Guild.
Lightsaber duels from a galaxy far, far away are happening right here in Dunedin. Robin Hood Park in the town belt is the site of choreographed battles most weekends. Cameron Lindsay is one of the warriors. He's also an enthusiast of Japanese sword fighting and joined the battle between the Empire and the Rebel Alliance after hearing about it from a friend.
I had a couple of lightsabers that I'd picked up in an Armageddon expo and thought, yep, that seems like a bit of fun.
The fencing-style laser swords were popularised by the Star Wars science fiction movie franchise. These weapons feature blades made of strong polycarbonate and are lit by large LEDs, often with sound effects. Lindsay coordinates the Dunedin chapter of the New Zealand Lightsaber Guild and says you don't necessarily have to risk injury to take part.
You're expected to get a few bruises. We're certainly well aware that not everyone wants to end up with bruises, so if you're not someone who wants to fight, you can get into the choreography, and we have some people who are along who like the choreography.
Many of the warriors are also interested in cosplay, and while some are fighting on the dark side, most of Dunedin's lightsaber clashes are performed in civilian clothes.
If you want to do some more choreographed stuff, you can put on the Jedi robes and all of that and jump around with the Jedi robes. We tend not to. I have the Jedi robes and I do wear them occasionally, but most of the time it's just jeans and a t-shirt.
He says these Star Wars-like duels have a keen following worldwide, with the Lightsaber Guild hosting regular gatherings and competitions here in New Zealand.
You go overseas, it gets even bigger. You know, there's full-on competitions, there's set rules, there's set forms, and you know, you can really learn exactly how to choreograph yourself and have this fighting style that looks quite Star Warsy.
The Dunedin group has about 8 active members, but more Jedi and Sith warriors are always welcome to use the Force and join up. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Whaiakene, still to come on the South Today. An emotional find for families of the Pike River mine workers following the discovery of another body. And the Tongan donation drive is being painted yellow and black thanks to a Christchurch Rugby League club.
COVID-19 has dealt Queenstown a body blow over the past 2 years, bringing the question of how to diversify the town's economy into sharp focus. I'm Southern Issues reporter Daisy Hudson, and I've been examining how the jewel in New Zealand's tourism crown is reinventing itself. You can check out that story, and many others, in Saturday's Otago Daily Times.
your joy with Jazz, the next generation from Honda.
Hi, we're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including little box.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
My mate John's a real armchair warrior, because he's fighting high-priced lounge furniture. He's taken 25% off all lounge. All 25% off!
And my mate John.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Hi there, guess who? You recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Campbell's Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for this great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
Welcome back. Evidence of further human remains has been found in the final underground images taken from the Pike River mine. Family members of the Pike River mine workers say the discovery of a second body is emotional, but will help with closure for many people. Anna Osborne lost her husband Milton in the tragedy in 2010. She says the families have known for a long time that at least one of the Pike River workers was under borehole 47, but that doesn't make the situation any easier. Sonia Rockhouse believes they've done right by her son Ben and is hoping the family group have done enough to get enough justice for the men. The number of people taking public buses in Otago has taken a significant hit due to COVID-19 restrictions. The border closure is largely blamed for a large decline in Queenstown, with the absence of international tourists and temporary workers. New figures show a 16% drop in bus patronage in the resort town compared to last year. Bus contractor Ritchie's believes as soon as tourists arrive back in the region, the numbers will return to where they were. Public bus patronage has also taken a similar hit in Dunedin for services operated through the Otago Regional Council, with passenger numbers dropping by 17%. Budding rugby league players in volcano-ravaged Tonga will soon be running around in the yellow and black colours of a Christchurch club. The Hallsville Hornets are sending 85 jerseys to Tonga as part of a wider donation drive following the January eruption and tsunami.
From yellow and black to red and white, Tongan league players will soon be kitted up in new colours, thanks to the donation of 85 uniforms from the Hallsville Hornets Rugby League Club in Christchurch. The 60-year-old club are giving their surplus to the Tongan players as part of the wider earthquake disaster relief effort. President Devon Harding says it's a great opportunity to help another club.
We're very privileged to be able to, offer this to them. We have some old sets of jerseys that we've had from our old strip, which we've upgraded previously, so these jerseys are in good condition, and with us moving to our new club rooms, we've decided to send a few sets over to Tonga for the teams over there.
The unusual relief package came about after members heard donations were being sought for Tongan sporting clubs.
They've already sent one container load of food and I think clothing, and so there was another container that was going to be going, so we thought we would jump on that container and hand some jerseys over.
The jerseys are now on their way to the Pacifica League players as part of the container load of relief supplies being shipped to Tonga this week. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Whaiakene, still to come on the South Today. Wanaka's Gustav Flegnavski tastes success high on the slopes in Switzerland, and the Highlanders name their team ahead of Friday's clash for the Gordon Hunter Memorial Trophy.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Livingwell Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
My mate John's a real armchair warrior, because he's fighting high-priced lounge furniture. He's taken 25% off all lounge. Lounge suites, armchairs, two-seaters, three-seater recliners, corner suites, chaises, sofa beds, lifted chairs and more. All 25% off. Plus pay it off over 24 months interest-free. This weekend at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street and online.
Get that furniture from Stafford Street. And my mate John.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Welcome back. Wanaka teenager Gustav Flegnavski has won the free ski half-pipe Junior World Champions in Leysen, Switzerland. The 16-year-old Kiwi asserted his dominance from the first run of the three-run final, showing good technical skiing and huge aptitude. There were blue skies and little wind for the finals of the free ski halfpipe as Levnowski turned in a near-flawless performance to claim the junior world title. The Wanaka teen landed the left alley-oop double 900 move for his first time in competition. Judges rewarded him with an impressive 96 points for his second run, helping ensure he remained untouchable for the rest of the competition. Fellow Wanaka athlete Finn Melville-Ives also competed in the free ski halfpipe finals, finishing in 7th place. The Highlanders have named their team to take on the Blues this Friday night at North Harbour Stadium in Albany. The two sides will also be playing for the Gordon Hunter Memorial Trophy, named after the former Highlanders and Blues coach who died in 2002. The Highlanders have struggled so far this season in the Super Rugby Pacific competition, with 3 losses on the trot. Coach Tony Brown says everyone's trying hard and is frustrated the team aren't executing the way they should be, but insists it's not from a lack of effort. Aaron Smith returns as captain and starting halfback, while Scott Gregory comes in at centre and Marino Mikali-Tu'u earns his first start for the season. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The continuing rise in fuel prices at the pump is forcing motorists to juggle their priorities. Save the Children NZ is thankful for the $300,000 already donated for children in Ukraine, but say more is needed to help out. And a group of Star Wars fans are using the Force to stage weekly lightsaber battles between good and evil in a quiet Dunedin park. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Editor Barry Stewart, and what can we expect to see?
Hello, Hannah. Well, first of all, those Wanaka skiers, they're amazing, aren't they? Something in the water up there, I think, isn't there?
Yes, we'll have a bit of that, please.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on Tuesday, we published an article about a neurosurgeon trying to get a job in Dunedin, and he was declined by the New Zealand Medical Council. And now we find out today from the Southern District Health Board that they have appointed a neurosurgeon to that position. So that came as a little bit of a surprise, but the person that we've got is unregistered, won't arrive in New Zealand until December, and will then spend 6 months working in Christchurch. And then we'll have a neurosurgeon in Dunedin. So that's positive news. So the developments of the other position, who knows? We'll wait and see. That is now in front of the courts, so we'll see where that goes. But that's a positive result for us. We also talked to a Mosgiel dairy owner who was attacked violently recently. He was hospitalised. He has since returned to work. I think today was the first day back, so he's reflected on the incident, and he's very grateful for community support. So a nice little story there, but yeah, a little tragic obviously as well. We've contacted the Southern Mayors to discuss Three Waters after the recent review. They are still unhappy with the situation despite proposed changes to the program, so more on that. And of course the protesters in the Octagon, vaccination mandate protesters are still there, where others have disbanded and moved on, and COVID Response Minister Chris Hipkins has said go home.
All right, that's the message. So we'll look out for that and all those stories in tomorrow's ODT. Thank you, Barry. And now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the city view, one of the water features in Dunedin's Octagon. Looking at the situation, a warmer northerly airflow increases over the region tomorrow as a low pressure trough approaches from the Tasman Sea. This passes south of Otago on Friday, with the airflow tending towards a cooler southwesterly for the weekend. Checking what's in store for the southern towns. Along the coast, Catlins can expect moderate nor'easterlies, with cloud increasing and a high of 20 degrees. In Balclutha, fine with light winds and a high of 10. Inland at Gore and Lumsden, freshening northerlies rather, high clouds and a warm 23 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes region, Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra are all in for moderate northerlies with some high cloud, reaching 26 or 27 degrees. Te Anau cooler with 19, moderate northerlies and late rain. Looking at the northern towns along the coast, Timaru is in for moderate nor'easterlies with clear skies and a high of 23. Oamaru can expect fresh nor'easterlies with some cloud and a high of 21. Inland at Twizel and Omarama, moderate northerlies with some high clouds and a high of 26 degrees. In Dunedin, there'll be nor'easterlies and cloudy skies tonight, dropping to 14. Much the same tomorrow with clouds and fresh breezy nor'easterlies. The high 18 and down to 14 as the low. Warmer on Friday with thick high cloud and moderate nor'easterlies still hanging around. A high of 23 and a low of 16 degrees. And down to Invercargill, fine tonight with high clouds and an overnight low of 10. On the way tomorrow, thick and high clouds and fresh breezy northerlies. 24 the high and a low of 15 degrees. Gusties, strong nor'westerlies start developing on Friday. Early rain will clear with showers back later in the day. A high of 20 and a low of 14 degrees. And that's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te pau, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.